We are engaging in a work group meeting this evening. I see several students and lots of parents and care holders in this room. I just wanted to take a little, some time to introduce some of the staff members that from our school district and also from our Verona area high school. If you wanted to introduce yourselves.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Tremaine Clarity. I'm proud to serve as the superintendent for Verona School District. Looking forward to the engaging conversation today as we continue to grow and improve our programming. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Knott.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see some familiar faces that I haven't seen in a long time. You may remember, my name is Alexis Nass, and I am out in female clinical programs coordinator. Hello, I am Jamila, I'm the biology children. Good evening, my name is Amy Hamilton, I'm the director of secondary ed and college of the center. So I'd be here talking about creating a secondary school. Hi, everyone. My name is Nancy Kranza, and I am the Spanish translator and interpreter.
Thank you very much. And for those of you that walked in, I am Rosa Maria Lorson. I am the director of multilingual programs here in the Verona Area School District. Just wanted to lean into our equity framework. Taking some time to acknowledge that we work in service of this framework because we want to give access to all of our students. And we all come with different identities, with different experiences, and we want to make this school district equitable for all of our learners. And because we formally teach in Spanish and in Mandarin, that's why we have that translated in those languages. As well as our North Star district-wide goal. Our goal is that all of our staff, as well as our students, all collaborate together, and that we center disciplinary literacy, which you will see that TWI Immersion program provides many opportunities for students to engage in disciplinary literacy. Okay, just wanted to give you a recap of the timeline that we've had leading up to this meeting. On the 29th of January, we had a meeting to talk about course selection. There were lots of questions that were brought up at that meeting. February 5th, we summarized all the concerns that you had and sent out a communication stating that we saw some trends that the biggest concerns were course offerings, staffing, and then student recognition. Then we sent out a family survey for you to fill out, as well as had all the students in their Spanish literature and language classes at the high school, as well as we did go with the TWI science at the middle school in 8th grade to fill out the student survey. Last week on the 22nd, we also had students, 15 students come together to meet with Ms. Venegas as the first meeting for a student advisory group. And then here we are with the work group. And then on March 11th, we will have a follow-up to this. Okay, really our purpose for today is that we want to, we sent out those surveys. I know there were phone calls made to several of you, and that information will be compiled, but because of the way that the survey was organized, using those results and using that tool is what we'll focus on today. The information from the survey, as well as the information gathered, or I'm sorry, from the phone calls, as well as the information gathered from the student advisory group. We will compile and offer as part of our information for the next time that we meet. Okay. Some of you have been involved in this process as well with our strategic framework. This is what we use to be able to frame what we do in our school district. And TWI Immersion, TWI, really fits in all of these. First thing I want to do, and I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. And if you're sitting at a table that might not have too many people, you might want to maybe turn around and talk to a neighbor. But just say your name, your or your students' grades? And then why did you choose TWI when your littles were 4 and 5 years old, getting ready to walk them to kindergarten? Why did you choose TWI? And so, we'll give you a couple minutes to do that.
And then B, so. And then B, but I'm gonna that vision meeting. Yes, mine is important. Real numbers.
Like there's a bit of a separation from the other classes, and sometimes they didn't die. Yeah, or didn't quite have like their either that, like, those mismos, when you're the class, like, and bad. It's not like.
Like most of my time, you know, the one that were in like. Also, like the cross cultural, my friendships that also why we had that just is how like. Friendships like.
One thing that I've noticed is that like even if they're like groups and stuff, if you're in the same class, you kind of like like that, and then it's like exposure to that, whereas in other classes you can't just not.
What is it? Yeah. Wait. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's like, we went to kindergarten at 5 years old.
Yeah.
That's more than 2/3 of our lives. I think the goal for me was like learning with Spanish and just like having that experience. And kind of at this point, this is kind of weird to say, but I also feel like I've been getting worse at Spanish while I'm in high school. So the point of being in this program, like seems Spanish and keep the skills sharp, you know? Like ever since we changed. Yeah, that's very natural thing. It happens to me that I recognize my high school.
They did that, they take when they brought together, so that means they all, but I just. All right. And I got. We can come back together as a group. I could hear I could see the smiles, I could hear the laughter and the animated way that you express yourself to the people at your table. So that, that says a lot about how much you care about this program. That's great to see. Okay, just wanted to give you some information about the students that we have, not only in our school district, but specifically in the TWI program. As you can see, we have 857 multilingual learners, 400 of them are involved in the TWI program. And we have lots of languages. We have 52 languages in this district that students speak in their homes. Moving down a little bit, 264 multilingual learners at the Verona Area High School. Many of them are also involved in TWI. Across the district, we have 825 TWI students. Again, 400 of them are in TWI. The breakdown of the ethnicities that we have for our focal group students as well. We have 266 students who identify white, 3 Asian, 10 Black, 536 Latino, Hispanic, and then 2 or more races. We have 2. Specifically in the Verona Area High School, it's 121. 59 of the students are multilingual learners. 28 white, 3 Black, 91 Latino, Hispanic, of which 59 are multilingual learners. And then they're going to take you down memory lane back to before the program went to 6th grade. And this was a presentation or a couple slides from the presentation that one of my predecessors presented to the board back in 2017. So this was the slide that was presented about what was going to be offered at the secondary level. So I'll give you a couple minutes just to look at it. This is what we currently have developed at the secondary level, so 6th through 10th grade now in the TWI program. There were some things that changed between 2017 and where we are now. A couple of things. One is that there was a focus on personalized learning in the school district that has sunsetted. Instead of the world language courses that were originally proposed, we do have Spanish literature and language courses, which are different. It's more of a language arts focus. And at the middle school, although some of you might not have experienced this, we have now 2 core content area teachers who are bilingual rather than the Spanish language arts and which was an every other day class and the content area. And then also we have added a dual credit course that our students are able to engage with in their junior year. So looking at programming, just specifically programming, the Department of Public Instruction gives us guidance. And through the multilingual, so English learner lens, as well as through the world language lens, this is how it is defined. It is a minimum of 2 courses annually. And the target population is to have a balance of students who come from Spanish-speaking homes, students who come from English-speaking homes, as well as what it says in world language is a minimum of 2 courses annually in the partner language. This is from a programmatic standpoint. This is what we would have to make available in order for us to call it TWI. What that means for our students, though, is a little different. We've been collaborating with the Department of Public Instruction because this is, across the nation and across Wisconsin, this is still new learning. This is uncharted territory for many school districts to have a high school level TWI program. And in talking to them, really what it comes down to is that sustaining content-based learning in the partner language is the goal for the program and for our students, actually. And to be able to do that, offering 2 courses at each grade level, and having a Spanish language arts, something that we would require. And because we have not fully developed the second course option yet, we're doing that year by year at this moment. We need flexibility. We need flexibility for our students, not necessarily for the program, because the program we have to offer it in a certain way, minimum of 2 courses annually. But because we understand that our students have very different goals, very different things that they want to do at the high school, that's where we need to grapple with this question. What does flexibility look like? How are we going to help our students continue on the TWI program when there's so many different goals that they have? The other thing when considering how we are building our TWI program at the high school is that we lean into research. If you don't know these authors, please. They have many podcasts, they have many books. They are the leading authority in dual language programming across the nation. They've looked at, last time I said they looked at about 8 million student records, mainly in North Carolina and in the Southwest, because that's where many of our TWI immersion programs are located. Wisconsin, not as many, but there are some like us. And they talk about how, dual language TWI immersion programs are superior to any other bilingual programming out there, especially for our students who are learning English as a second language. And high levels of multilingualism is overdue. It does take a really long time to develop, but once the students get there, it is very beneficial to them. They have this book that focuses on middle and high school. And we did print off, we did send it to you through email, so if you didn't get a copy, please let me know. We did also copy the first chapter. It's at your table if you needed to refer to it. The 2 areas that we're going to be focusing on, because there are different themes that they listed in that book, is scheduling as well as instructional strategies and language of instruction. Other things that we do to help develop our program here in the Verona Area School District is looking at examples from other school districts that may or may not have similar contexts to us. One area, for example, Madison Metro, this is what they offer in their TWI program. They are a few years ahead of us, and as you can see, they offer Spanish, like a Spanish language class, as well as content has been history, ethnic studies, Latin American studies. They've really gone all in with social studies. Another example that we look at is, for example, Woodstock. And there is, as you can see, they have 3 language courses and then 3 content courses. And they have their dual language program is at 2 high schools. As you can see, for various reasons, it looks a little different. The language is the same, language, city language, everything at high levels. But the courses that they offer, sometimes, is based off of who's available for staffing, or other decisions that are made. Another consideration as we build our program is the Sealed by Literacy. We have a Sealed by Literacy. The Verona School District, my predecessor, Lori Burgos, she sat on that committee that decided what is going to be the Sealed by Literacy for Wisconsin. And the Verona Area School District was one of the first 3 adopters of this seal. And right now it's we're one of 18 districts, and there are 421 districts in Wisconsin. So to be one of the 3 that started it, 1 out of 18 across the state that offers it out of 421 districts, that's pretty impressive. Okay, just bringing you back to this, so using all that information is how we got to this point. I know that it is a work in progress, you know, and that's why we're all here. But we are going to be looking at some of the responses to what has been,
President, can you do me a favor? Just
yes,
go back about 5 slides,
sure. This one?
one more.
Okay.
2 more.
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
So, again, good evening, everyone. I want to make sure that, and I think it's always important that when you're the first cohort to do anything, you all, and there's moves in leadership or shifts. Obviously, I'm not the superintendent that was here 5 years ago or 2017. But do you want to know what is my belief and stance? And my belief and stance is that this is the two-way immersion. It's crucial to our organization and crucial to you as families and crucial to our students. And so when I look at this one, I want to go deeper into what does that really mean and what should we really be talking about? And, you know, when we talk about this collaborative conversation with TWI, a lot of it was helping them understand our stance as well. And our stance is that as a two-way immersion student, especially here, that we do not want you to lose your identity because you are seeking additional courses or seeking additional areas to explore electives. We don't want you to lose your identity. You are two-way immersion. I dare to say you're a family of two-way immersion students. So the pull away that identity piece is not what we're going to allow that. So that's when we talk about this push and pull, and we use the word collaboration because it was a great collaborative conversation. But I think there was some deeper understanding from their perspective as well, what it really means for our students. It's not just our list of students that we send on a piece of paper. These are our families of people that we see every single day, and their identity matters to us. We can't say we are going to develop the whole child and then say, except for this. That's just not the way it works. And so I say that so when Rosemaria, as she properly said, that we want to be flexible. We want to be flexible in letting you explore and look at different options. We know we have to hold on to that language component. We know that's got to be there. And why be in we're not going to hold on to the language component. We want to make sure that you're able to explore and look at deeper options and still have you maintain that identity of, yes, as a Rowan Area School District, I'm a TWI student, and that means something to me. And I value that, and my family values that, and being able to have that in recognition, both in written form and transcript form. And when you walk across that stage, you want to be highlighted with that as well. So that is actually what we're working with that flexibility piece. I don't want to be like flexible, like if you don't do this, then you lose that identity, because we want to center and figure out a way to do both. I don't want any person to lose the identity of what you've accomplished for so many years. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you understood that stance from my space in the organization and how we want to collectively come together and work on it through these options. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Green.
Can I ask several questions? Real quick?
Sure.
And you have talked about the specifics of this year bond for the high school. Yeah,
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
so, just so I'm clear. There's 825 students in the CLEAT program,
K-10.
K to 10.
Mhm.
Right, because CLEAT is currently up to 7. And of that group, 121 are in high school.
Mhm.
What is the attrition rate of kids that finish middle school and decide to drop out before they get into high school?
In the last year that I've been here, it's surprisingly very low.
What is it?
Low is like 3.
3 kids, 3%?
And it's the 3 kids. So as far as what I've seen from last year, now that may change this year, as students are choosing courses. But as far as what I've seen and families that have reached out, it's,
And does that take into account kids that were in middle school and then decided to drop out within middle school?
it does not. It's the 8th to 9th grade.
Another question I had, so, Dr. Guardia, I appreciate your comments because, we've been in TWI so we're the second class. And I remember hearing, way back when, that there was a group of, advocates for TWI from Verona. Madison had already instituted it. And I remember saying, whoever needs my vote, I'll give my vote to whoever implements TWI in Verona, because I thought it was very important to my family. So I was very happy to, when it passed and it was adopted here. And we've been in the program for 9-10 years. We decided to drop out into the next school year because of the lack of programming for the high school and the gaps that I see for my kids going into the high school year. As soon as I did that, we got dropped out from all the email correspondence for TWI. Like, we're not considered TWI anymore. And I have a vested interest in ensuring that TWI survives and stays in Verona, even if my kids are not considered part of TWI anymore. So I just think it's important that somehow, and I think this was a feedback that was shared at one of those meetings, that you can't all of a sudden take that flag away that those kids were part of TWI just because they choose to drop out when they spent 9 years or 10 years of their life part of TWI. So somehow in your system, that recognition still needs to exist. Because if next year somehow we turn this around and we create this amazing programming, I'm back at TWI again because it is important for my family. But I also can't risk it because I want my kids to go into the best colleges, like they have the best opportunities to get into whatever schools they want. And that's why I think we're all here, is to ensure that, I keep referring it to TWI 2.0 needs to be the best program we can all come up with, because we want our kids to succeed. And I was part of several meetings that the Department of Education had, where they invited the senators of Utah, which surprisingly, it was one of the first states that adopted dual language programs in the state of Utah. And they came here, and the vision for the state of Wisconsin, and I think they still have it on their website, is that they would roll out a dual language immersion program through college. And what an amazing idea that was. Like, that means a vision that Wisconsin had that would be absolutely fantastic. So even though, we're not considered part of TWI anymore, I don't care. I believe in this program. I believe in the power that kids have to have multi-language skills, and also provide them the opportunity to have that diversity and be cool with it. It's like, this programming, brings all of that together. So I will continue to, volunteer my time and be a participant in all of this, just because I believe in this program. But I do think that as part of the system, even if there's people dropping out, they should still be recognized as part of it.
And
Very correct. Thank you.
thank you. Yes, and that is one of the things that we have to consider, because to have some sort of indicator that shows like TWI historical, because we don't, that's one of the reasons why after the first email went out, it went out to students that had the TWI indicator, recognizing that we missed some of the population that were still taking the Spanish class. So that's why the next information was sent to the email addresses of the families who were taking the Spanish literature and language class, so we wouldn't miss anyone that was.
Which is weird, because I think they're still in TWI technically for the remainder of the school year. So it's still kind of weird that it's that way, but whatever. Yeah, I'm sure you'll fix it going forward, but it's still weird.
I think it's to kind of keep our record straight of who's taking the 2 courses, who's still taking the Spanish language arts classes and things like that, so. So now what we're going to do is I put some sheets on your tables that have different topics, as well as a summary of responses from the survey. Okay. So just so you remember that our outcome for today is to review this feedback data that's summarized, gathered from the students and the families, and then to synthesize themes as well as gaps in programming. Sorry, I'll give you directions on how this is all organized in a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so just to give you some background of who participated in this. In the family survey, we had 43 families, 43 responses. 6 were in Spanish, 3 indicated that they were bilingual in their home, and then 34 in English. From the student surveys, we had 134 responses, so that included the 8th grade as well. And 67 were in Spanish, 19 were bilingual, and then 48 in English. And I wanted to go through and just give you the top 3 responses for each of the students and then also the adults. So as far as reasons for staying in TWI, students noted there were 27 responses that said sealed by literacy. Their desire to improve Spanish, and because they had a cultural connection, they spoke Spanish at home or their family spoke Spanish. Adults also talked about the desire for bilingualism by literacy, educational career benefits, personal and family connections as well. When asked what their goals are in high school and beyond, there's a lot of reference to college and career goals, academic achievement, as well as language and bilingualism. Adults had something similar, bilingualism and biliteracy, preparation for college and career, and then community engagement and the ability to volunteer with diverse groups of people. How TWI helps them reach their goals? Students noted that they had an improvement in their language skills, that they had college and career, they felt they had college and career opportunities because of their language, and then also that for students who are primarily Spanish speakers, having courses in Spanish did help them academically. The question for adults was a little different. This one talked about have the goals of TWI changed over the course of your time here. And we did find that there were concerns and frustrations with the way that the program was being implemented. However, the constant goal is always bilingualism by literacy, as well as a constant and also as a concern about the amount of community and cultural engagement that we have within the program. Tools and resources, from the question was asked of adults, does your student have the tools to be able to succeed in this program? There was a noting of that teacher quality and turnover was a concern. The curriculum and class offerings as well. And then the amount of support and engagement available to students was also a response. We asked students, what ideas do you have for courses and for activities within the TWI program? And the top 3, as many students were not sure, and just keeping in mind that we not only asked our high school students, we also asked our 8th graders. So coming from those 2 groups, it wasn't specified. They said that, they weren't sure that it could be anything. Otherwise, there was a really wide range of interests in courses in Spanish. But there was also a desire for flexibility within the program. Okay, asked the same thing of adults, and we made a little Wordle to kind of capture what kinds of ideas there were for activities and for courses. Top 3 findings were health education, conversational Spanish, and just a request again, being flexible with course offerings. Okay. So we are going to ask you to do, and if you need support, we will be walking around and clarifying as well. So I'll read all of these first, and then I will go back to this page. There are 4 topics, and we have put a topic at each table. I think all the topics are being represented. One is reasons for staying in TWI. There's another one for goals during and after high school. The tools and resources, and whether or not TWI is helping you attain those goals. And then course requests and suggestions. So you have these sheets that look like spreadsheets. You will read through, so you may have one that says student, you may have one that says adults responses. What you do is you'll read through the summarized key points in your topic, There are some pencils on the table. If you need more writing tools, we can get that for you. And then just make notes of similarities and differences between the two. You may need to work with a partner to kind of go through it, because it is, some of these are pretty long. And then just kind of look at what are things that are similar, and they are also listed in the order of frequency. So the ones at the top were most frequent, the ones at the bottom were least frequent in the response. And then think through, how do these key points connect to the topics that were found in the Thomas and Collier book, which all of you should have this sheet. And right here where it says topics addressed in this book, it has a list here, which continues to the following page. So it goes, the first one says how secondary dual language schooling is different from between elementary or from elementary schooling. And the last one says the advantages of whole school dual language for all grades K-12. So those are the topics, and just kind of thinking about how that connects. After you're done with that, then you're going to discuss in your group what themes you see, what gaps you see in the program. And then on your chart paper, so each one of you should have two chart papers, and if you don't, we'll get you some. One of them would say themes, and the other one would say like gaps or needs. And then once everyone is done, we're going to hang those posters up around the wall, and we're going to take a little walk. So what I'll do, because we have about 20 minutes, is that I will time us 5 minutes, so I'll give you 5 minutes for each of these. And then I will come up here and change it to the next page in the 5 minutes left. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we should probably-